Hello there team, so this was a battle I managed to do last night, a pretty big 3v4 siege, cityscape siege on Mistrand, as hopefully the title will state. So I played as Umbar again. This was right after the pitch battle, sorry, the 3v3 pitch battle, so I was in sort of Umbar fever and I wanted to keep using them. So I'm on the attack here. I have a Rune ally played by Lord of the Pings. We've got Roger that as the Dwarves of Erebor, and over here we've got a Mordor played by Tangerine again. So a lot of the same guys from the last battle. We just went straight on into this one. Over on the enemy side we've got Arthedain by Philly again. He was the Mirkwood in the last game. We've got Eclipse blessing us with his presence as the Witch Realm of Angmar, and lastly Linden by New Player over there. So we'll run through my army here. We had a long setup, as you can see it's a 50,000 frame game, but we're 12,000 in and we're still sort of waiting around. Now the reason for that was because Eclipse deployed all the way over here, and there's no real ability to defend the fort from there or defend the city from there, so we allowed them some time to move all the way around the back of this. Something I'll state immediately because I probably will forget it. Roger that spotted this sneaky little unit of cav. So these are Witch Realm Inquisitors, and definitely pretty messy, and we wanted to keep an eye on them. They're all the way out there. I think Eclipse was just wanting us to forget about them, but Roger that was not having it. So he was always watching our back with these Ironfoot pikes, which was very good of him. There is this other little access way here, but we were just sort of always watching that, and I always had I didn't always have my sentinels, but we always made sure there was some unit that could rush over there. Looks like the battle's about to begin, so I'll slow it down a bit so that I can get my army composition out of the way. So I've got these two units of Corsair infantry here, shielded but still fodder units. Alongside them there are two Numenorian shield guards, definitely not fodder. These are Eastern hunters from Rune, but my archers, I had quite a hefty archer force with two Belgar archers, two Corsair crossbows, and then I had some more elite archers here, the Naruduba Weep. Yes, as I say, the Umbar love playing them, can't pronounce anything. So that's and then the Royal Guard. I did not bring any Rangers to this fight. In terms of infantry, I've got these three units of Halberdiers, backed up by two heavy mace-wielding infantrymen there. So they're armor piercing. There's a bit of a mess overall, but there is another two units of Corsair infantry here, and as I say, the Royal Guard and the Sentinels. So pretty numbers focused, but a lot of archers, which I was so happy to see this big open choke point. There aren't too many maps where you have this sort of situation where there is only one way in. There's actually two, but there's only one main way in, but it's really wide, so you can get a proper battle going in there. Over here there is the Axis of Mordor. I'm not going to try and do Mordor's army composition. You get the gist of it. He's got some trolls, lots of halberdiers by the looks of things, a lot of Morin on infantry, and he does have some Black Legion mixed up in there too. Now he does have Nazgul as well, but if you were a defender and you were trying to spot them in this horde, that's just not happening. So I can barely see them now. Oh, I just know that they're there. So I'll go for Erebor now. Roger that, he was bringing up the rear. So two Ironfoot spears, some Ironfoot warriors, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Really good for just melee slogfest in a siege. Blacklock engineers, absolutely beautiful. Two units of Ironfoot crossbows there. Axe throwers, 2 units off. Highborns of Erebor, really good morale and just general good fighting unit. Then pikes bringing up the rear, watching out for that cav, 3 units. So he's got a nice little position here where he can move to assist Mordor, or he can support Rune and I. Speaking of Rune, he's got nice, pretty elite force, I suppose. Nice Loknar Rim missiles. Pretty excited about their fire ammunition in the next patch. I know it's mainly just a stag, but it'll look pretty cool to have that going. Eastern crossbows. Don't play as Rune too much, but I always spam out the crossbows. 2 of these Scion Rim spears. Seeing some camels chosen there. Then we've got 3 halberdiers, the Gamp Rim. In front of them we've got 3 Flag Rim. So lots of AP from all of us. My halberdiers, his halberdiers, my maces, his axes. We felt pretty good about the amount of AP we were going to be dishing out. Originally they were actually bringing a force of I think 2 elven armies, but they switched out on us. So we're still pretty happy. Arthedain brings some pretty armoured units, and to be honest, Angmar, especially if he upgrades some of his armour, which doesn't look too much like he has, but yep. Big thing to note though, Rune there does have a catapult. So we've got these 2 access ways. I deployed right here and I decided to stay right here. This is where I wanted to fight. My army was built to do this sort of thing. My army was not really built to fight along that area. Arthedain he's got the front line job by the looks of things. So Forest Air and Defenders there. Oh, backed up by some Harlanden infantry. Things vanishing from my sight there. Not too helpful. Arthedain pikes, no armour upgrade for them. Men at arms, some shots get fired off into that infantry blob. I don't blame them, but firing straight up is never a great thing to do. You'll definitely not miss. Yeah, that's one good thing though. Over in the centre, with Angmar, I think his yep, we can see these Barrow-wights really bringing up the rear. We weren't going to wait for the Barrow-wights. What we decided to do was wait until that catapult showed up, and that was the signal for the fight beginning. So I'll do all the defenders really together, just calling out their units for the most part. Halberdiers, Angmar Halberdiers. Some Mithlon Marines, as to be expected, for Linden Marines. In a siege, you probably would prefer the Mithlon Marines, whereas I feel I actually really like the Ferlin Marines because they double as spears. They're kind of like cheaper troll slayers for Rudar. They can do the same job. Guardians of Karn Doom there. Do they have the armor upgrade? No, they don't. I don't think very much from Eclipse has the armor upgrade here. Some dismounted Forest Erin Knights. 2 units of them there. Some Knights of Innuminus, 2 units. Dunedain Peacekeepers, 2 units, spread out like that. Wardens off the north and back. Some men at arms spread out. These you're getting pretty close to the front line here, so you're probably going to want to spread your boys out. So that's 1, 2, 3 of them, and marksmen and rangers who are already firing. So we decided to. We had a lot of ranged units, and we weren't in any great rush, so we're going to use every arrow we needed to, or we felt we needed to. So we've got these 2 Eastern Hunters leading the front, and I'll be moving up some archers soon. Don't think there's anything else I want to call out right now. There are Witchers on the field from Angmar. They're hidden right now somewhere, but no, there they are. So we did spot them, and we're going to keep an eye out for them, and also those Mithlon nobles. So that was something to keep note of. I'll try and call out what they do. Well, there's not too much to focus on in this fight, so hopefully I won't miss as much as I usually do. Florindon Marines back there. More Mithlon Marines. More Guardians. More Guardians. Ah, wow, yeah. Catapult right now just setting up there, not wanting to be exposed to our catapult or our missile fire. Behind them, some Mithlon Pikes. Harlinden Infantry. Florindon Pikes. Harlinden Infantry again. More Harlinden Infantry, some Hammer Guard at the back there. Harlinden Guard, okay, good. And more Guardians of Karn Doom. So, and following all the way at the back here are these 2 Noldorin Guard. Now this was viewed as kind of the centre square. Wasn't an official siege map, so but this is the final fallback point. Noldor Blade Masters, okay, and some Mithlond Sword Masters, but right. So they're keeping a lot of leads at the back and just giving us a nice beefy horde to chew on up front. These Eastern Hunters, why not get pretty close? We're wanting them to fire their archers at us, and yeah, so we wanted to just march up as close as we could. I think I've actually missed them setting them up, but we might see it in a bit. I'll go back to full speed because I've run through everything I feel I need to run through. But I have a feeling that he's already placed in there. Yeah, you're seeing a few blood spurts coming up. There is a unit of Snagga stalkers sat right along here. That is why I'm moving my Corsair infantry up, because Snagga are certainly not very good at melee. Good. So Eclipse has grabbed them, and he's just wanting to chase us. Maybe even kill off this unit of archers. There's only 76 of them. Say if he was able to kill 30 of them, they might rout. So I grab my Corsair infantry and charge up. Let's try to watch that. See how many people he loses. They counter charge, which is unfortunate, but he'll start running them out in a minute. My Corsair infantry, although it says that they'll organise in a minute, and they'll be able to deal with this without too much difficulty. Having a shield is good because they're taking all this fire from the front. But we had absolutely nothing to counter this on the front lines. I grab my archers, I focus fire on them. But what I should have had is a unit of crossbows at the back there, so that when these nobles showed up, as you know we should have guessed they would, we could deal with them. So they come in, they have 24 guys, and spoiler alert, they leave with 24 guys, and they deal a hell of a lot of casualties to us. My Corsair infantry are still holding, and they are going to still beat these Snagga stalkers. I get those shield guard. I just want to chase them away. I've got no real intention to lose any shield guard at this point, but I wanted them to get out. I wanted us to keep hammering and give me time to get these crossbows into position. All in all, though, yep, as I say, they get away. They've no doubt taken a bit of fire. You can see this one's bloodied, but they have most certainly come off much better than we have from that little situation. Mordor holds. I think Tangerine was actually AFK for the start of the battle, but that's not a bad thing. He's not really got as much skirmishing potential as we do, so we want him to hold back and wait for us to skirmish the hell out of the enemy. But imagine if one of these people were dwarves and they had a Black Locks, or even just a unit of rangers, just popping that around here and just raking through that line would have been horrific. So I don't, shouldn't go AFK in a siege. So would have, don't think any of us would have complained too much. So as you see, those Snagga stalkers are dealt with. I've lost about half a unit, over half a unit of Corsair infantry, but it's an okay trade. I wasn't happy about it, but yeah. More Snagga stalkers coming in. Keep in mind, these Snagga stalkers are like free for Angmar. Doesn't have to pay for them, so in a way it definitely isn't a fair trade. But in a perfect world, you'd have your barrel whites lined up here. But the defenders were pretty nice to us. As you can see, we would have been waiting all the way until 15,000 frames before the barrel whites even came into view. So for them to get into position, probably were waiting about 20,000 frames, and nobody was really wanting that. More Snagga stalkers coming in, and now they outnumber my Corsair infantry quite a bit, and I'm most likely going to lose. So have I started firing? Something that I was pretty well aware of, or I noticed, is I can actually line my archers up here, and I can get a shot on that line. And that's why I have my more elite archers here. This is where I would love to have gotten a unit of rangers. Sorry, imagine just getting a unit of rangers there and just firing off, say, 2 or 3 volleys into this pikeman force. That would have been pretty great. I do manage to rack a few kills, and I'll show you when they fire, but it's not too bad an arc. I tried to do the same with my crossbows, but the crossbows just don't have the range to fire in a good arc and still reach the enemy. So you can see my infantry are, I had to support them with another unit of infantry, but well, the previous one is rowing, and he's just falling back to the line. So we're no longer able to fire just from as close as we want to. We wanted to fire from here just so that nobody was missing. And even though you're firing into the front of an armoured shield wall, you're doing some damage, and a few shots are probably going over into the pikes. Nothing too crazy. As I say, we didn't want him to attack right now. We wanted... Oh! Yeah, so that is definitely some damage that's been done from these orc javelins. That's quite a lot of boys lost there, and these are important men. They're not cheap. So you'd rather lose them than lose the pikes, of course, but it's still a damn shame. But I think that's all the real range potential he has. He's no doubt got another unit of orc javelins, but maybe he doesn't actually. Yeah, I don't think he does. So he's just getting his men. Oh, orc archers. He can probably just line them up just there and fire point blank. Point blank fire arrows when you're not too worried about how long it's taking you to fire is not a bad idea. Yep. So File he moves these guys back and forth a bit because from here there's just the right arc. Ah, yeah, you can see my fire coming in from across those buildings now, and we're managing to take that down to about 110 men now, which is nice. Yeah, so you can see the arc that they're firing from. This is definitely something I'm going to make use of if I play Mistrand again, because I really like this. I try to get some more good archers and just line them up here. Yep, just perfectly up. Well, no doubt hitting a few of these buildings, but don't think too many. So he spaces them out, but oh no, he doesn't. He rushes them on in, so they start benefiting from these shields. But the arc that I'm coming in from is still hitting them, which is good. How are my archers doing? I got my crossbows hidden there. I think this is the new, totally fresh unit of archers. I've traded them out. The other ones, they've still got some ammunition left, but with such a depleted unit, that ammunition will last them. So I decided to take them with their depleted ammunition and line them up over here, so that they can use what's left in a pretty nice position. Right, the catapult moved up into place. Oh, good. Yeah, as they fired off the first volley of just standard ammunition, which that would have, yeah. Oh no, I think yeah, that would have definitely been dead, man. As for these guys, yeah, no, they're gone. So using fire ammunition for the catapults is definitely something you should do. But he switches out in a minute. Orc fodder just taking some heat. Cell just wearing that line down. Nothing you can really do, it's painful, really. But apart from making a charge out with something. But that would just be a good opportunity for him to throw something at you. And okay, yeah, a few pretty expensive units killed there. I'll probably bump up the speed a bit because it really is. Now that I've sort of explained what we're doing, we do this for quite a while. So I'll bump up the speed to 2. I won't try and go to 6 or anything like that. I don't think that's necessary. Yeah, so he starts to, once we start to hit some people, they pull back everything that doesn't need to be in our vision around the side here. So cuts down on what we can really hit. These guys are definitely still a nice target, but it's starting to look a lot less appealing. And he's moving them back too now, slowly, bit by bit. That unit of cav is still sitting over there. But the pikes will hold them back. They were not totally out of ammunition. They still had about 1 or 2 volleys left, but I wanted to save those just for if we ever needed them. He starts moving these barrel weights out a little bit, just really to cover more ground. make us keep our distance a bit more. Archers, are you doing okay with that? Yeah, no, that's a fine angle for them. I worry that rise is just a bit too much. Yeah, so I did notice that, because that's about maybe, there's 90 men in that unit, but I saw at least sort of 20 bolts just slam into that hillside. Yeah, you saw that again there. And those bolts are what I need to break through those shields. Yeah, so you can see this is what happens with ranged units a lot. If they're midway through firing, they'll be really slow, but you'll see the 3 officers from the unit charge up first. Alright, so the Corsair units seem to have him, whereas the Belegar units have this guy. Ah, cool. So they've got like a Harbinger of Casimir, whereas the Corsair units have this sort of helmetless dude. I've got some Corsair Savages, I can try and prove that. Yeah, okay, cool. Just something I've never really noticed from playing as Umbar. From here, my crossbows have a much better shot. And as I say, a lot of the barrow wights are absorbing that fire, which, thanks there, Grimhead. But it's not going too bad. It's definitely a waste of ammunition. But I want these barrow wights cleansed anyway, so. How effective is that actually? Should I maybe just? Ooh. I don't know. I'm getting quite a few shots through. Now here's the thing. So when they go hidden, the model lies flat on the ground. What does that do to the hitbox? Because I think once they go hidden, I start landing a lot more shots. I start shooting over the top of them. Because the hitbox is smaller. Oh dear. Right. He's, I think they ran out of ammunition. And he probably just wanted to try and kill some of these snagger stalkers. There's certainly a lot of there's definitely some good reasoning in that, but I would have probably kept those guys back and just used them as extra mass and extra meat for when we actually initiate the proper attack. How are things going over here? Still no proper attack commencing, but you can see Roger that was in a good position to help both, and he does that really well through the entire fight. So he brings his crossbows over here. Mordor just needs, Tangerine anyway, needs just a little more range power to break this line. And they don't really have any range power to counter him, so brings up his crossbows and starts hitting. Yeah, okay, cool. So I see Philly is sort of doing the same thing on this area that we're doing over there. He's sending his marksman out to fight against Old Fodder. Marksman in melee. Arthedain marksmen anyway in melee are not too bad, you know. Ah, shoot, I missed that. So we did take one of them out. That was good. So he came out and he tried to do the same thing, and he was successful with it, obviously. But we, I had my crossbows in position this time, and I was able to hit his chariots. That's the word I was looking for. A little bit more that time. Go back up to 2 speed. A little bit more skirmishing happening. Did I interrupt that shot, or maybe it's just because I'm on 2 speed, it's a little bit tough to see. So I'm seeing, still trying to decide about what happens with the hitbox. No, I'm seeing people taking shots, so I think maybe the hitbox is still the same height. Those are those 28 guys over there still firing, just because, even as I say, the small amount of ammunition being fired by 29 people takes so long to get used up. Oh, yeah, good. Wasn't able to do this battle in really nice quality, unfortunately. I like to, of course, play on the stats that you have to, but when I do my recordings, I like to bump up everything pretty high. But I tried to do that on this map, and I think it's just the buildings and the numbers was just not having it. So we charged these stalkers forward, and just on cue, I ran out of ammunition for my crossbow. So I thought, okay, sure, nice beefy unit of crossbow corsairs, backed them up with both of these units just out of ammunition. And snag a stalkers in a situation where they are outnumbered is never really a good thing for them. Seeing these barrow-wights edging their way forward a little bit more is a concern, though. So overall, we're starting to run low on ammunition. Get my Corsair infantry up there too, just to wipe that out a bit more. But we're well aware now that they're pushing their barrow-wights out at us. I think we've killed 15% of them for 10 of ours. It's always tough to know how the funds should work on these cityscape maps, so it's never really something that I think you'll ever get totally right. Orc archers now will just line up and point blank fire. How effective is that, I wonder? They've got absolutely, I know they're orc archers, but surely they have no excuse for missing. Yeah, fire arrows is what I would use. Hurting people, killing a lot more. So this is looking pretty worse for wear. There's no doubt some hidden unit or two over here though. But you see this is looking pretty bedraggled as well. Now this was the call to charge. Roger that, had some nice beefy spears that he formed up into spear wall, and we came rushing in behind. Now, so these are 123 men in each of my halberdier units. That doesn't last too long. So I get my crossbows there, and I pro strats lined my out of ammunition archers right up in front of them, but they're still able to get a good shot over. I just do a last minute little bit of damage to them. So we wanted to just push through, but these barrow-wights caused some problems with that. It really bunched up their spears, and what also it did is it slowed down the halberdiers, and it allowed the enemy to get some good shots on them. So they're already down to 100. You should always save up some last few volleys of arrow fire. Never, as the defender or attacker, never let your enemy use up every shot you've got. But that's the Linden boys, so that's why it's so bloody deadly. 88 now. Over there on the right, I've still got 122, whereas back here, I've got 111. I wanted to keep one unit back just to, with 2 units I sort of had this entire line covered, but I wanted to keep a unit back and reinforce them as I needed to. So the push doesn't gain as much ground, but as I say, that was largely down to the barrow-wights breaking our momentum. Such a light unit, but it's enough to keep you back. Corsair infantry just coming in to fill the gaps and get some kills. Now, something we were of course watching out for were those Witchers who are advancing. Now, as I said about saving up a little bit of ammunition, I have done that. So I see them advancing and I run my crossbows over here to the side. These Beligar archers have a little bit of ammunition left, but he's wary about it and he keeps them over on that side. So me, in this lined up position back here, I could shoot them now actually. Yeah. So Roger that calls out and we've blobbed up. So I pull this unit of halberd back because I need them. Pull out a unit of Corsair infantry because they're not too needed on the front line right now. I just want to empty that blob and feed in bit by bit, because we're, as I say, we can't break through. We're actually really close to breaking through, but they've got so much reinforcement. So this is more a case of killing the enemy, which having a blob of men is not the way that you do that. You do that by just feeding bit by bit, just trying to get fair fights as best as you can. And also it leaves room for axe throwers and such. These Florendan Marines actually take a little bit of my ire for a bit. Or at least I think about doing that. I kept wondering, so I had my crossbows set up over there, I was just never sure of what the best target was, these Florinda Marines or these Blackguard. Because every time that they fire a throw, they become less of a target because they've used up more of their ammunition, lessening their effectiveness, whereas those Blackguard are always going to be as effective. So, wanted to sort of deal with their elite infantry as much as I really could. Now, as we're doing this push, Mordor is preparing for his push. These Black Hawk engineers just waiting for their chance. But I don't blame him. You know, he's still got ammunition. Why not just empty it all on the enemy? We've got a lot of troops. We're definitely not we're not running out over here. So just wait, do it when you need to do it. A lot of those forced air defenders are standing the wrong way around, which is being pretty deadly in terms of those axe throwers. So that's too bad. Silly how sometimes that can just happen. Eclipse are backing up this line. Philly really was the the punching bag for the early game, which is his mostly shielded, nicely armoured units are what you need for that. Now, that was pretty beautiful. Yeah, there's no friendly fire, maybe a little tiny bit, but generally not. That's a lot of fire for the spears. Just wiped out with one shot. Not even one volley, just one shot from the archers. Of course, the infantry are not happy about that. Neither are the Iron Foot spears. So he pulls them out. The reason he sort of pulls them out is because he knows that we're going to focus all of our ranged fire on. And he gets them just out of range. Now there's 9. Did we manage to take one out? I think they start off as 10. Yeah, they definitely do start off as 10, but I can't see where the one Witcher has died. I think that's him. Yeah. So that was good. That was a normal Witcher. That was one that could actually shoot fire. Because even though there's 10 men in the unit, 3 of them are just there as additionals. So you really want to deal with these guys. And with one of them dying, it's likely that we've taken a hit point or 2 off the others. Taking some counter fire to my crossbows, but I'm not too bothered. As long as they don't rout, I'm happy. And every shot that goes into those crossbows is one less shot that's going into my halberdiers. This unit of halberdiers that was pulled out is now coming back in. I tried to line them up there to have them coming up on the side. I was at an impasse really. I had my crossbows that could have fired into this side bit here, or I had my halberdiers. Now, in order to pull my halberdiers out faster, I turned them off phalanx formation. That's why they did that charge there. So I forgot to put that back on, but I've turned it on now, and they are reforming. They're still saying defeat is certain, but that does look a lot better once they actually start fighting properly. It means that the formation that I want them to be in is a little bit disjointed. I wanted them all to line up nice and thick, just along that line, whereas now, because of the way they charged, a few of them end up over there.
My lord, only half our force remains.
So I was, keep in mind that's a lot. That is the half of my fodder side of it. You know, I've lost all of my Corsair infantry and such, so I wasn't too worried. I got these Corsair Savages. I never really use units like this. Very poor armor, but lots of damage. But I just felt that this was the time this sort of slugfest was maybe good. We needed a bit more damage, especially with. Oh, nice. Yes, he actually pushes all the way through. So my Corsair Savages, instead of running toward the front line, they intercept this group here. Now these Hammer Guard are pretty great, but a nice firm hammer to the chest is kind of wasted on a guy that's not wearing armor. So I get them set up there. I get my crossbows now. I can do some point blank fire to those Hammer Guard, which is nice. And I am throwing in my. I've got this unit here. I think they start running out. Oh no, sorry, the Shield Guard are a bit closer. I just needed something because my Corsair Savages, although it says they're pretty happy, they're not gonna deal with this. I think breaking through our line there. I wish I could click on the highlighted units because they've pushed us out. Like, we have a little hold out here on the right, we have a little hold out here on the left, but that whole centre, we've lost that. We were not able to properly reinforce it due to the fear of the Witchers. So they managed to push out. They flanked around, and but they've got those halberdiers now. Now maybe those halberdiers, when they broke through, maybe those halberdiers should have stayed back. A hammer guard could have come out, but you know, he would have wanted the hammer guard supported. So yeah, it's a tough decision. But now that we've got this situation, I want to just get my guys lined up, come in from both sides, just crush that unit, kill the hammer guard, and feel pretty good about it. Or not. No, I guess they just wanted to go up and fully support that line. But no, I could have done with just hitting them. Crossbow
Only
Corsairs
half
out
the
from
enemy force
mission.
remains.
Maybe. Although they just used 2 little harpoons there. Isn't it what's going on with Mordor? So there is a push now. Generally halberdiers and infantry fighting off against pikemen infantry. So the more expensive, armoured and generally all around better units of Arthedain will shine here, but they're going to take losses. And when these halberdiers sort of make their way to the front line, especially, they'll start to take some serious losses. But receiving crossbow fire, maybe just holding them in place and having these crossbows rain down over the top, how effective is that? Yeah, not getting too much friendly fire actually, that's going quite well. So that unit of cav has creeped around now from the side, and roger that, because we had less troops here, he said, I'm going to move up. So he pointed out, you know, this is the new fallback position, which is nice because we don't have to worry about that entrance now. We just have here, which his 3 pikes can cover. Could he have done something with those Inquisitors over here on this side? Got some halberdiers guarding both sides. No, unfortunately not. We were pretty on point in terms of those Inquisitors. Oh yeah, okay, good. So they know they're likely going to break here, so the fire starts coming in from that capital, which is in a great position, just rain hell down the alleyway. With the newfound reinforcements that we have, we're starting to make some progress. This left side is struggling a bit. I devoted my sentinels to the fight. They've lost a lot of people, but I felt I needed them up there. Those hammer guard are dealt with, those halberdiers are dealt with, but at the cost of about 140 Corsair Savages. So Numenor and Shield Guard are still looking pretty good, so I get them stuck in. I actually, was it them? No, I think I took my fresh unit. No, my fresh unit of Shield Guard, where are they? Yeah, so they're here. At one point soon, I gathered them up into shield wall and try to break through this line because it's men-at-arms, it's there's only little pikes here and we're kind of doing pretty well, so maybe there's not really too much point breaking through. Sometimes you just want to, if you're winning a slugfest, just continue the slugfest. But didn't want the idea of those Witchers coming back, and I also didn't want him to retreat his Blackguard back to the second line of defense. Wanted them to get dedicated here, killed here. The more elite units we can kill in the opening stages of the fight, the better it is. Crossbows out of ammunition, so they're getting dedicated. Where are the Black Legion? Because, you know, I'd say a nice Black Legion push here could smash right on through. He's got these units of Barrow-wights. Did he bring 3? Or I guess that was just 1 unit of Barrow-wights there. There was They are pretty large, large units. Oh, good. Yep. We're almost through. We busted through on that side. Ah, the Witchers again. Okay, yes, that's unfortunate. That's quite a lot of flagmen killed. But as I say, I was feeling, oh, my Billigar Archers routed. Yeah, not too fun seeing a bunch of people burning right next to you. So they get out of there, and I don't see them coming back. There's only 30 of them. Hits us on the side there too. Witchers, I've got mixed feelings about Witchers. As I've gotten better at the game, I'm not going to say as I've gotten better, as I've gotten more experienced with how the game plays, Witchers are less frustrating to me. So, as you can see here, this is the shield wall, and I just want to buckle this position just so that we can start flowing through, support these guys over here against those hard-moving infantry, and start definitely moving those guys to fire because they've still got ammunition. Push on, but I pushed on through the centre and realised, oh, the whole right side has collapsed anyway, so probably should have focused on that instead of trying to break through. But yeah, as I say about Witchers, I think that my earlier dislike for Witchers has faded, and I don't think they're as much of a be all and end all as I used to think. I still the only thing I fear about Witchers is the real demoralising feeling that you get when your entire army is wiped out. I would hate for a brand new player to go into a siege and face off against Witchers from his first battle, and just have his whole army wiped out. So I'm still thinking about it. I know they're tweaking Witchers a little bit in the next patch. I'm pretty excited for that. So that is finally the breach made, or well, the defense crushed here, and we can start moving everything up. Catapult doesn't have too much ammunition left. Now, the catapult that does have ammunition left is their catapult, but my ally here, Lord of the Pings, has zeroed in on it. He wants to deal with that. In the process, though, he has overextended a little bit. Now, I don't have too many units, but I do have stuff that I should have sent to support, because dealing with this catapult is a big deal. And I think we got pretty confident. We saw, oh, we've got a unit in melee with the catapult. Of course we'll beat it, easy. But these Guardians of Carndum, these Mythlon Marines coming in, they want that catapult to stay. Those nobles, now in a more sort of drawn out engagement, are starting to struggle. Ah, right, okay. So I want to talk about my Royal Guard. I pushed them through, and I had two targets with my Royal Guard. I had come in from behind these Blackguard and kill them, or I move in to support Mordor and try to help break that position. Now, if I was to go for this line, which is what I did in the end, I shouldn't have attacked the Barrowwoods. There's no point in that. Having one of my best units just bogged down killing Barrowwoods is pointless. I should have taken them and hit the back of this Black Legion. But preferably, to be honest, these Blackguard just kill a lot of people. Fighting Númenórean Shield Guard, fighting Flag Rim. If I had gotten my Royal Guard up there to hit them on the other side, that could have been it. They would have disintegrated. So definitely a big regret. Mordor was doing okay over there. He didn't need me to come and help him. So I was just wasting my Royal Guard's time, and a few of them even died of Barrowwoods, which is just, you know, a damn shame. As you can see here, with them, oh, they're not routing. They're chasing away the catapult crew. Yeah, so he detaches them, just gets them away, and they're gonna get caught by Guardians. I think, yeah, good. That's what I would have done at that point. I would have just turned around and hit the Guardians. Just try to kill as many. You're too far behind enemy lines to even think about, you know, getting out safely. So just try to kill. Actually, is he pushing? Surely not. maybe he is wanting to try and get out. I don't know. I think he is just fighting. I think a few of the boys are just trying to run into combat. But with those breaches made, we've got freedom with our trolls, and with them running their stuff back now, it's starting to look pretty good for us. We're at around 52 for 60. Certainly not far off, and once we wrap it up here, I'll show you what they have left. Generally pushing through there, so it's just mopping up. It's now just mopping up, and we're trying to mop up in a way that we're losing as few people as possible. Bring the shield guard back to hit these blackguard from the other side, but again, we need something better. We need something more elite if we want to mop up those Witcher Elmen. Because these shield guard here, that was basically a full unit of shield guard that were fed into the blackguard. It's just worthless. They've still got, as I say, turns out to be about 1 volley. I thought it was maybe 2, but they've still got another shot. And the main thing there is the enemy seeing them, they've still got their bows out, the enemy doesn't know how much ammunition they've got left.
We are blessed! The enemy general is dead! Good. We have sent the idiot to hell.
That was Umbar there with his blackguard going down. Yeah, so the enemy doesn't know how much ammunition I have. They've maybe been watching how much I'm firing, they can't think I've got much, but you know, they could think that I've got 10 more shots.
Only half the enemy force remains.
It's not like in the newer Total War games where you can hover over enemy units and tell how much ammo they have. I don't know if I like that or not. It just seems like information that you wouldn't have on the battlefield, so why are you giving it to me? Okay, so we'll speed it up because as I say, we're just tidying things up here, and then we're forming up for the final fight. Catapult crew. Oh, yeah, so this is what I was looking for. So they've got unit of guardians there, holding back this charge of Scion Rim. Those guardians don't have to hold out forever, they just have to hold out long enough for this catapult crew to land some shots.
Lord protect us, our general lies slain upon the battlefield. Yep,
so that was my general wiped out. So he's firing over at this mob. Absolutely gorgeous blob. The only friendly fire he's got there is 90 barrel whites. That's nothing. And he can hit here, 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 even back here. This is all good for him. And thus begins the most unlucky series of catapult shots I think there has ever existed. So I'm just pumping it 2, and I probably won't say too much because it's just sad. It's just so depressing. He's gone to so much effort to pull off that move, and it could have killed. He could have killed, 100 guys with those. He got 6 shots off, I think. And I think with those 6 shots there was maybe 10. If you're being liberal, so. That was just really bad luck from that catapult. It was I wanted that move to be rewarded because it was good. It was we thought the threat was gone, and he managed to he had a full unit. Well, he had half a unit of guardians there to defend them. It was a good move, but no, that's just the way that things go when you're playing Total War. Sometimes it's not always there's a factor of luck involved. So. It's also why I don't trust artillery. So we've got everybody heading up now, and I will bump it to 6. I know it's a bit jumpy, but there's a bit of shuffling around. I may cut it. I don't think I will. I think
the battle is in our favor. If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
So 58 for 73. So I was seeing that now. I form up my men, so you can see what I've got left. It's not very much, and I was looking over at what the enemy had. Unit Florentine archers. Now, new player would be pretty conservative with his ammunition, so I knew that they'd probably have a few volleys left. Next to them, more Floridian archers. Next to them, some Harlanden Guard. So I've seen these guys being shot. Well, seen these guys doing some shooting, but it's not going to be much. Some Floridian Blade Masters there. Both these units of Forest Errant Knights managed to get out of there feeling pretty good. The Wardens of the North still have some ammo. Up here, this is a big clump of units here. So Dunedain Peacekeepers, great shields, backed up by really good pikes, backed up by Noldoran Guard. That's not something that you can throw a horde at. That's gonna kick back just about anything. Some Noldoran Guard here to back them up. They've still got the Witchers, only 9 of them, and very bloodied, but they've not shot too much. They've still got a good full volley in them left. The Mithlon Marines, more Mithlon Marines, some Dismounted Knights of Anubis. That's just one unit. I thought there were 2 of those, and I don't remember one of them going down. But I think one of them might have been thrown into the blob in the center actually. Some Peacekeepers backed up by Floridian pikes, which, even though they're not the best pikes that Linden have, they're still better than a lot of other armies can bring. So we've still got a bit of ammunition in our catapult. Try to fire over here, miss. As I say, the catapults all round this game were just pretty abysmal. But let's see, you bring catapults mainly for the effect, the ammo on the enemy, rather than the kills they bring. Now, something that they didn't see, they stated it sort of in chat when it was all happening. They saw these trolls coming up, and they didn't know that. They just didn't see this choke point, which I don't blame them. You know, they see this position, they think, okay, great, so we've got one way in there, one way in there, and this is our final position. You know, but so when they saw these trolls come up, there was a bit of panic, and they just they tried to shuffle as many people as they could up there. These Noldoran Guard, both these units of Dismounted Knights, and the Blade Masters. So not a bad force, but the problem is no pikes are there, and that's kind of what is necessary. Now these Blacklock Engineers are exactly what you want to use to break through a blob like this. If I saw those Blacklock Engineers, it's a crap situation, but I would have maybe charged out, because that's gonna hurt that position real quick. I almost don't really want to watch it, but you know, we'll just try to withstand a volley or two. Yeah, so you can see how quickly people just die in response to the Blacklocks. It's just too much for them. So they start scattering, but you know, they're all getting stunned by the shots. He's getting about 40 guys away from that. Noldoran Guard are not looking too good. Let's see, I think the only choice there was to charge the Blacklocks, which is not a good choice, but it was the only thing that could have really been done. So they decide to charge down here. These mountain trolls are really bloodied, and you don't often see, well, at least I don't often see mountain trolls getting brought. Usually Mordor just picks the Olokai and that's them happy. So I want to just have a look at like what I've got left. I've got these 5 sentinels. Those are Rune. Rune and I were both actually saying that Rune has some boys there. Actually, I'm gone. So I've got these 5 sentinels. No, he's the banner carrier there. I've got these 60 Numenorian Shield Guard, some 8 Royal Guard, near enough a full unit of those elite archers. Gave them the armor upgrade because I like the look of it. I also I gave my Belgar Halberdiers an armor upgrade. I was meant to state that at the start. That's why they kind of performed maybe a bit better than they had any right to. 7 of these AP infantry there, and 1 Corsair Savage. So not a lot. I'm certainly more of an aid here than everything else, but I saw how everything else was going on in the fight, and I knew that if they were able to pull these Dunedain Peacekeepers and these pikes away from this position, they would still stand a pretty good chance of forcing people back. Because those Blackhawks, what's up with those Blackhawks? Nah, they're firing over here into this blob. Yeah, that's a pretty damn good use of them. The archers don't actually fire upon me as we approach, because they're waiting for me to get to this little circle of death. I knew that me pushing through was unlikely. I had my Numenorian shield guard, I gathered them up together in shield wall, and I tried to push through. But yeah, my main goal here was to take attention. The Witcher's there. Wow, damn! I'm sorry I missed that. That's I'm seeing a handful of Dunedain mixed in there, but all in all, that's a lot of dwarves and a lot of ruined forces. So that was a good shot, I think. The Witcher's. Oh wow! Did you get a shot there? Surely he tried to block them. Yeah, no, he's able to interrupt them. If they got that shot, that could have been really messy, actually. Ooh, it's crazy how, you know, this is the thing with Witchers, you know, like, that's just two pretty decent spear units. Just two men basically cleansed that unit in melee, so, yeah. So they run over there. Let's try and pay attention to them, but I try to push. I wanna break through these pikes, because as I say, the more, if I manage to break through, then they've got to send something to deal with me, and they send these Mithril Swordmasters, they send these Forest Errant Knights, and so when I saw that coming, I thought, okay, good, right, they're paying attention to me, and that's what we want. So he starts firing on them with archers, which cut me to pieces pretty quick. Crossbow Corsairs. I start throwing everything in. Have I fired that volley? I have. I decided to take their one volley and try to hit a few of these guys. Kill two of them. Yeah, three, yeah. So, oh well, you know, that's how it goes. I just didn't see a good opportunity for me to fire anymore. Witcher's still alive. Didn't see them die, and they do like hiding, so I wouldn't count them out just now. They've managed to, as I say, they did really well with just discovering this position after the fight had happened, and then forming up, sacrificing a unit from Oldor Blade Masters, these Dismounted Knights of Illuminus, to just try and hold back the swarm while you're trying to form up is not a bad idea. Ooh, no. Our catapult though. That's a good position to fire upon with that catapult. Yeah, ouch. Ooh, ouch again. Yeah, maybe. Again, maybe I just wouldn't form the line there. I'm always a bit too keen, I think. This is why I much prefer attacking than defending. I'm always too keen to just sacrifice my superior position just to get stuck in. You can't do that. Sometimes you do have to just tank shots. So what's going on over here? I've just got everything stuck in now. It's not looking good, but we're holding the attention of these three units. So, and we're using up ammunition for the enemy. You know, that ammo could be getting used on, you know, that formation. That ammo could. I think that this is a great position to have your archers in. But say if he had his an archer unit here. He could have maybe caught sight of the black blocks and hit them, but I don't know. Those wardens in the north, out of ammunition, I guess they had used some ammo in the main fight. Still really pretty bloody in melee, so I wouldn't be too upset. They're feeling pretty good about this fight. We've got halberdiers, but they've got lots of elite units. What do we still have in the pool of elites? Blacklock Engineers are still there. They're not bad in melee, but I don't think I would call them elite. Temple Executioners with an armor upgrade. That's good to see. I saw the Minas Ithil fight, so we got to see a lot more of the new skins for units. I of course, I like the units of the new Minisethal, the new Temple Executioner skins, but it's just because I like this unit so much. I'm quite upset.
They have lost half their men.
The new one I think makes a lot more sense, and it looks a lot more menacing. This, you know, you could pass this for being good army units. So the other one just looks a lot more sinister. Have we broken through? No, we've not. But they pull these sword masters away. I'm almost out of men, and it was at this point, or maybe not too long after it, that I realised that one of my crossbowmen can still fire his crossbow a few more times. So he's one man left in his unit, fighting to the end, so good for him. So I decide to pull him back and try to fire off some shots, but I don't see him right now. But I'll try and spot that. Yeah, I think we still have quite a lot of ammunition with that crossbow, so we're just going fire away at whatever we can. These Rangers. Yeah, that's probably the best arc for the Rangers. You don't want them there. I'm just thinking about no, this little bump in that building actually. Just that extra floor just cuts that. Decent enough for archers though. They're able to come down onto the side of these guys. So I'll speed up. We're at 75 for 88, so feeling a lot better now. Now that we've had to, you know, we've gotten them devoting their elites into melee, and we're kind of winning most of these fights. But yeah, Camel's chosen again. They'll be able to toe to toe with a lot of these units.
Praise to our Lord. Our men have slain the enemy
yes,
general.
so the Nazgul are there, and that was a big one for us. There he is, I think. Yep. So that one crossman there, he still has a few bolts left, but I'm just wanting to break him a little path through there. He can run out. And that's a good position. Yeah, as I say, like even. Games can turn around real quick, so you know, a lot of folks as soon as things start to sort of, well, not as soon as things, but like when it's clear they've sort of lost, you know, a lot of people give up. A lot of people sort of, you know, admit defeat when they've still got units on the field, and I'm just like, you know, do what you can. Just they're probably not going to be, you know, you can see they're probably not going to be turning around here, but all it takes is that catapult tries to fire, gets a nice chunk of friendly fire. You get those Rangers set up somewhere, start raking through the lines. Backed up by that unit of pikes. Damn, I missed it. The unit of Cav came in and
victory will be ours.
And hit those pikes from the back and killed a few of them. So that was good, or well, good for them. I think. Him having those those cavalry was really, even though they may have not been super effective, they were really you know, we constantly had to have pikes dedicated to watching our backs. You know, at one point there were two halberdiers from Mordor and 3 pikes from Erebor that were all dedicated to watching our backs to keep back this one unit of cavalry just in case they showed up. So it was definitely a good choice to bring. I don't really like bringing cavalry to a castle siege, but I think a cityscape siege where you've got a bit more freedom could be pretty good. And as I say, Eclipse is definitely a bit focused. You know, if he had seen this happening, he could have charged those Black Legion and just wiped them out. But these pikes are charging. Our men have
fought long and are becoming tired.
People coming to assist the breach here. I've just got like nothing left. There's my crossbowman. Finally managed to break him through, and I think I basically just get some friendly fire. Might have actually been stopped. But no, what do they have left here? Oh, I think all they have left is the Cav, so yeah. Cav just sort of charge something, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's everything dealt with here, so I just grab my guys. Something I like to do on safe games, just
we have captured the enemy's general.
So it's good.
That will teach the cowardly dog to
I just tend to
run.
gather everything I've got and like shove it in the
rest
center. Just you know,
leisure.
feels good. Cavalry just grab. Oh no! Oh, they slipped on through. Oh, where are they going to go for? Sliding on through. Oh, just wanted to kill the cavalry. Fair enough. Probably just charging back and forth. I just said in the last battle that I maybe need to start thinking about getting melee cavalry instead of lancers, because I always use my lancers like melee cavalry, but I need a charge bonus, so it's a tough thing for me to decide on.
All of will be awed by the victory we have won here today.
So that was a really fun little siege. I'm definitely going to go for Mistrand again, because I love that big corridor, I'm going to call it. You know, it's just sort of such a big slugfest, but it's over a bit of a wider area than you usually get choke points. Royal Guard, I was surprised by the Royal Guard, but you've got to keep in mind how I used them. So they used up all of their arrow fire, but their arrow fire was generally dedicated to fighting the Witchers, and then shooting at, I think, the Blackguard. And then after that, they charged Barrow-wights. So I used them improperly, for sure. That's why their kills are so low. Sentinels, I put them in quite nice and early. We needed something elite up at the front there, I felt, so they went in there, they killed heaps. I'm very happy with them, really. Then after that, the Belgar Halberds, all performing pretty well with their melee upgrade and then also an armor upgrade. Actually, I don't think they had a melee upgrade, but I preferred the way they looked with the armor upgrade, so I was like, stuff it, let's get it. All in all, not too bad. Behind them, I was surprised by these guys. I think I would have just mishandled them. I think I probably sent them in. That was the unit that could have probably backstabbed the Hammer Guard, but you know, slammed in uselessly against just a chunk of infantry. So, whereas this one performed a fair bit better. Corsair Savages did good. You know, nice cheap unit, 400, and coming out of that with 97 kills. They were like they lost so many people fighting the front of a halberd line as well, because somebody had to stand in front of it, so they did good. Corsair Infantry, you know, that 176 was from killing Snaga, whereas the rest was they got stuck in, they wore things down, they took hits for other people. I'm more than happy with the 46 kills though. That's okay from those two. The 20, I'd want a bit more than 20 though, to be honest. Numenorian Shield Guard, that was the top unit, was most likely the force that had gotten sent to fight the Blackguard. So they're not racking up kills against the Blackguard. Second one would have been the second one I had there that tried to break through the Florendon pikes. These are my archers here. 56. I'd want more. You know, they're quite expensive, and but at the end of the day, when they threw themselves into melee, like all of those kills would have been from ranged. When they put themselves into melee, they were fighting front into pikes and elites, so that's okay. Belgar archers, 27. As I say, they're shooting into either Barrow-wights or the front of the spear line, so 27 is okay. 55 is better, but then the crossbows are where I'm pretty chuffed with. So all in all, that was good. Really got to thank Roger that for that victory there. He was definitely being team captain for the most part. We were all communicating really well. I was chuffed with how we did in that battle, but Roger that was calling the shots, and he was calling them well, so that was good. If anybody ever wants any of the replays that I've used, I won't be deleting any of them because they save up. There's such little space, just a little text file. So just ask me, like any of these players, if you wanted this replay and you didn't save it, just give me a shout and I'll send it off to you. But yeah, thank you very much, guys.